In today's video, it must be spring somewhere, so let's look at the new Supergoop Protectint Daily SPF 50 Sunscreen Tint, the brand new LYS Higher Standard Cream Glow, and the star of our show, the new ESUM Artistry palette number 3. Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Today we have a bunch of new products, as you saw in the preview, and I'm already starting to form my opinions about a few of these. We have some good here and some bad, and we'll get into it. We have a demo, we have swatches, lots of good stuff. So let's talk about the products we have in front of us. First is one that I will tell you already is a hit. Gosh, I'm already in love with this. I have two different eye looks on, as you notice, because we're going to do that in the demo. This is the ESUM Artistry palette number 3. It is $80 and it is $15. Look, it comes out. Look at the beautiful palette here. Comes out just like that. The top pulls off of it. Nice protective casing. This is 15 blush powder matte shades without any sort of talc in them. I think I'm actually holding it upside down. Not that it matters, but there it is right there. These are so beautiful. ESUM just does it right, and this is their newest release for home use, for professional use. So protective, the casing, but then it slides off and is out of your way. Have you ever been using a palette that keeps shutting on you? And I'm going to tell you already, this is such a winner, but we'll talk about it more, of course, as I do my wrap up and final thoughts. But I can just tell already, I've done 2 looks with it in the demo, which you will see me recreate. And we're going to have swatches of this in 2 different lighting as well. But that is beautiful. That is the ESUM Artistry palette number 3. Now, all of these products that we talk about will be linked below so that you can get your little hands on them, as well as information about super thanks, which I always appreciate, because as you can imagine, channel costs a lot to run. And we also have information down there about a very popular feature here on this channel, which is our $4.99 a month membership. We have weekly lives where we talk about everything behind the scenes, YouTube, creators, influencers. We talk about makeup releases and makeup gossip and all. We have a lot of fun. We'd love to see you there. That information is down below as well. Okay, we also have today the LYS Higher Standard Cream Glow Blush Stick. This is a $20, very affordable, LYS, very affordable, $20 glowy blush stick that comes in 5 shades. I picked up the shade Focused and we'll swatch it. It is radiant and long wearing, and it rolls up like this. Let me show you the packaging. It is our typical LYS little triangle, and it rolls up there. The triangle, and it rolls back down. The triangle can be used to apply because it is kind of shaped, perfectly shaped to apply product to the cheek and the high points on the cheek, or you can dot it on with your fingers, or you can use a little brush that you dip in any old way you want. Very affordable and very pretty. 5 shades, and I got the shade Focus, but we will apply it, we will wear test it, and I will give you my thoughts on it at the end. And then, of course, we have the new Supergoop. We have a new product by Supergoop. Correct me if I'm wrong, it's been a while since we've had a new product from Supergoop, isn't it? By the way, you will hear outside construction going on. If you are on my Instagram, you probably saw in my story, I filmed what's happening out in front of my house, and that answers the question of what all the noise is. The show must go on. It's been 24/7 for months now with no sign of stopping. I'm losing my mind. So I'm sorry, you have to lose yours with me and listen to that noise out there. All right, this is the brand new Supergoop Protec Tint Daily SPF 50 Sunscreen Tint. Is it a tinted sunscreen? Sure. Is it a tinted moisturizer with SPF? Sure. Is it a light wear foundation with SPF properties? Sure. It's whatever you want it to be. It's happy to be for you. I'm kind of surprised. I didn't realize it was this tiny. I'm a tiny person with tiny hands. Look at that. That's tiny. That's a tiny little, but you know, a little bit goes a long way. Comes in 14 shades. I got the shade 24N. It is, if I did not tell you already, how much money is this? How much does this cost? I am telling you, my staff, let me go find out. You stay right there. This little guy is $44, I just found out. You saw it on the screen because I put it in editing. I am telling you, this staff around here, this staff cannot be trusted. Don't trust my staff. Heads will roll. Anyway, it's $44. Light coverage. Recommended for dry, combo, and normal skin. Not recommended for those with oily skin. Let me tell you, you're going to find out why in just a minute here. It's got a natural finish, no fragrance, hooray. You know, everyone's telling me, I used to do, whenever I did foundations and complexion products, I would have confetti. And everyone's like, why have you forgotten the confetti? So for my confetti lovers out there, let's do some extra party horns and confetti. Can we get some extra? Again, my staff, not on the ball. So we have that. Okay, if this is the only sunscreen you're going to wear, it is 50 SPF. It is a chemical mineral combination, which is pretty common. They don't use just a mineral because that has like a flashback, can have a flashback on camera. What's a flashback on camera? Oh, and editing, I'll see if I can find a picture of it, but it like puts like white spots on your, it makes your face look striped, like a little zebra. And so the chemical mineral combination is kind of nice. And it also works as a thickening agent, let's be honest. But if you're using it as your only form of SPF, you got to use a lot of it to get all 50. But even if you don't get all 50, it's a nice amount. And you know, you'd have to reapply it every 2 hours and wait 15 minutes before you go into the sun. For a lot of people will use this. I'm wearing it just as my only complexion product here, but you can use it as a primer if you want, or just kind of, you know, put it on for the summer, just as your only thing that you're wearing, depending on how young and beautiful your skin is. Mine really isn't, but you know what I'm saying. So it's very nice. Look, I don't get along with a lot of Supergoop products. I respect the brand. I love some of the products they do, but sometimes the glowiness or heaviness of the product bothers me. This one isn't too thick at all, but we're just kind of dealing with the glowiness of it, and you know, we'll see where we get to as we continue on with the wear test. I'm actually in the middle of the wear test here, but it's a very interesting product, and one of the first few I've seen from Supergoop. I wonder if they're suffering a little bit because everybody has SPF and everything now. You know, they used to be kind of the only game in town, and I still have nothing but mad respect for them. But I kind of wonder if that's been hard, you know, because it was their niche. You know what I mean? I don't know. You can comment below with your thoughts on that. Okay, we are going to go now to start. We'll have to go to the start of the wear test. You know, got to put it on before we can start the wear test. And we'll test all of these. I'm already in the middle of this wear test developing so many thoughts for the end here when we have my final thoughts. Do me a favor though, take a moment and make sure that you look down below to make sure that you are subscribed because, you know, that's important to me. Make sure that you're using the timestamps if you need to and all of that good stuff. Let's go straight to the demo. Straight to the demo, we have to do the swatches. Honestly, someone's tired. Here's the indoor swatches. Here's our ESUM Artistry palette number 3. And the LYS Beautiful Glowy Blush is over there all the way by my wrist. But then we're going to take it outside into the warm California sunshine. Look at that ESUM palette in the sunshine. And the LYS product too. Isn't that pretty? And I tried to do kind of a real chunky LYS product, and then it's like a little thinner. I kind of smoothed it out afterwards. And we're going to walk into some different lighting here, just so you can kind of see it in a natural lighting, but in the shade. I think that's even better. Can you believe I almost forgot this? Seriously, someone needs to check on me. Let's get our wear test started by applying this Supergoop Protectint. And as you know, I got it in the shade 24N. We are going to apply it a little bit with our hands and a little bit with the BO2, which is the new complexion or foundation brush from Refer. I have a review on it that I will put right up there, but I have been using it and really enjoying it. Right now I have nothing else on my face, no primer, not when we first test a foundation slash skincare slash hybrid, what this is. And I don't currently have any sort of concealer on, you know, no plans to put any sort of setting spray or powder. Let's just test this. It looks a little bit thick, as all Supergoop products are a little thick to me, but as you know, no fragrance. We already discussed that. So let's just put this on. This can be put on with hands because it is kind of like SPF, really, tinted SPF, and you would put SPF on with your hands. It is proving to be a very light coverage, which is nice. It means you have a lot of play in the shade choice. I put a little bit of a dab there. Let's just leave it there and let's do one side of the face. I always forget that I'm not just chatting with you as I get ready for my own day. I always forget that I'm demonstrating the product. Hello, Rebecca. So one side would be nice. I actually think I did very well with the shade choice today, as I try to do half my face here. But it looks like it wouldn't be that hard to do, as it is very light coverage, but not light with the SPF. Now, it's interesting because on the Supergoop site, it talks about how when they tested this, nobody could believe that this was 50 SPF, but it is. Now, of course, you guys are going to tell me, and you will be right, that in order to truly get 50, you've got to put on, you know, huge amounts of it, and that is true. So I am not, with the amount I put on, getting all 50 SPF. I do admit that. Generally, I would wear another SPF underneath, but this is certainly a good amount still. Okay, this side of our face, we have the new Protectint from Supergoop. And this side, of course, nothing. Let's see if it gave me any sort of coverage. Not a ton. Looks like I would, on a normal day, need some concealer. What else is new? It's very light coverage. Doesn't claim to be anything but that. Definitely kind of a tinted sunscreen. Exactly what it says on here, right? A little bit more tint than normal. Could you put a foundation over this? Sure, if you needed more coverage. I probably wouldn't, especially if it's kind of warm out, you know? When it's hot, you just want some light coverage, but you want the sun protection. You can layer it. It tells you to kind of let it kind of, you know, chill out and do its thing and kind of, you know, dry down a little bit. And as you notice, as it's doing that, the shade isn't changing or anything like that. So it's not getting any sort of air exposure and aerating and changing, right? Which is nice. All right, let me do the other side and I will speed it up so you don't have to sit through it. And maybe we'll do a little bit more on this side too while we're at it. Stay right there. All right, so I'm letting it dry down a little bit now. This new BO2 brush from Refer is so good. Remember, I have my video a little bit ago that I put up there for you to click on, but I'll also put this in the description bar. It's a great, these brushes are really nice from Refer. They really are. Okay, so I was chatting to let this kind of dry down a little bit. And I did, if you noticed, I sped that up, but I not only did a little bit more over here, I put another layer on over here just to test the theory of it being buildable, and it is. I have also put it over my eyelids, which some might say is a bit dangerous with sunscreen, but I don't feel any sort of burning. It was a little bit of a test. That is very pretty, and we have a little bit, interesting. Little bit of shine from it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go away now and just kind of, I think I'll put something on my lips. They're feeling a little dry. Do my eyebrows and stuff. We're going to come back to do the LYS, and then we'll do some looks with the ESUM palette. But I also want to go away for a minute, just to kind of, a few minutes actually, just to kind of see what happens when this sits for a little bit. I am not going to add any concealer. Maybe I'll put a little bit of concealer here and here because it is so bad, but I'm not going to put a lot of it on. We just want to let this do its thing and see what we think of this, especially for the wear test. All right, be back in, well, for you, a moment. Since we're doing a wear test, I figured this could be a little bit of a middle marker here. We are 3 hours in. This will be a much longer wear test, but it has, and when we're speaking just about the Supergoop Protectint, it has remained very shiny. And you could go ahead, of course, and put powder over that. I'm not powdering on a test of just, you know, unadulterated. Then you start going, what powder did you use? And what, everything just kind of messes with it. Okay, so this is just the product. And I feel that if you were wearing this on a warm day, spring or summer, whatever, you probably wouldn't powder it because the whole idea is it's kind of hot out. And also, I don't generally, if you're new to my videos, you might say, well, powder your T-zone, lady. I do not have an oily T-zone. Very normal skin, very normal. So this shine that you are probably seeing, if the camera is picking it up, and I'm sure it is from the product only, not from me. I don't have any oils on my face. So now this does say, it says it makes no bones about it that this is for dry, combo, or normal skin. They don't say it's for oily skin. I can see why. And I'm starting to feel an affinity with those of you in my audience who have an oily skin. I'm not sure I love the look of this. I love dewy, but this is shiny. So we're only 3 hours in. we'll see how it goes. Okay, now this LYS product here is a little bit messy. As you see, it kind of got on this already, and I was just playing with it a little bit. It's a little bit messy, but it's pretty. I have here, I brought over, I figured while we were at it, the new BO1 from Rephr, which is also good for creams and for liquids. So we're going to use it on a cream here. Let's go ahead and put this on. I probably should have just dotted it on. Boy, it's going to move over this foundation or tinted sunscreen, but it doesn't pick up the sunscreen, which is nice. And that's a beautiful shade. LYS always has really nice shades. And of course, very inclusive, of course, LYS. Okay. Very pretty there. Pardon me while I fix my... I put some of the sunscreen on my eyes, and I had a little bit of the concealer on my eyes, and it was actually kind of coming up a little bit. Okay, let me just dot this on with my fingers. I would not use this directly. It's a little messy. So I just dotted it on with my finger. I mean, that's not a problem. I just dotted it on with my fingers, and I'm kind of spreading it with this brush. You could also put it on with your hand. And remember I said that you can go ahead and put the Supergoop product on with your hands because, you know, you wouldn't put SPF on with a brush, right? So I'm just kind of trying to show you. This is a very pretty, very glowy. We're going to definitely have a very glowy look. Yes, I will be washing my hands. So many of you say to me when we have our members only lives, so many of you say to me, my goodness, Rebecca, the amount of caveats that you have to say, don't worry, I wash my hands. Don't worry, I'm not pulling the skin on my eyes. Don't worry, I'm not, oh gosh. And last week there was one video I didn't say it on and someone went, be gentle on your eyes, be gentle. I thought, oh, I didn't give the warning. I'm being gentle on my eyes. I am not pulling on my skin. I am washing my hands. Thank you, Mother. I just said don't use this from the, but it actually is easier. But when you roll it up, it can be a bit messy. Now, part of that is a Rebecca problem because, you know, you got to be able to match triangle to triangle when putting the lid on. So part of that is not the lovely people at LYS, and it is this lovely person right here. All right, that's a really pretty blush. Let's make sure we wind it down all the way. Got to be careful of that. And apply this. Yes, it's like a shape children's toy. You got to do that right, Rebecca. Okay, well, if you like a nice glowy look, it's certainly glowy. I went ahead and put gloss on. This is their Guerlain gloss. This will all be listed down below, of course. All right, now let's really finish up. Let's really spring into spring with the ESUM palette. And of course you can, I'm going to take it all out of there, okay? I am generally not a colorful eyeshadow person. You guys know that about me, but I do like pinks and blush shades. Not necessarily one for the yellow shades, but maybe we'll try it a little bit. Let's do two different looks just to test out the performance of the product. I know I love ESUM already, but let's go in right here with this shade right there. And I'm just going to put that all, that applies beautifully. What a nice powder. I might have even said this already. It looks like cream when you're looking at it. Oh, just beautiful. Doesn't even poof up into the air at all. Isn't that pretty? The way that applied and blended, you wouldn't know it was such bright shades. Sometimes bright shades scare me a little bit, probably because I was in a way raised on those crazy Norvina palettes, which are so dark and so bright, right? But this is nothing like that. Same shade. This is a 2 mini from Rephr. The other was a Sonia G Kiyaki brush that I just wanted to get that underneath the eye. That is, I would actually just wear that as a one and done, to be entirely honest with you. Let's go back to that Kiyaki brush. Let's go into a brighter pink. That was this one right here. Oh, ESUM, this is so pretty. There we go. Oh, wow. Oh my goodness, that is just lovely. Now you could add, if you wanted, you could just do mattes. We're going to just do mattes today, but ESUM themselves, and of course anything else you've got in your makeup collection, has some pretty sparkles, and you could do that as well if you wanted to. You could add that into the middle or into the inner corner, or you could just run whatever highlighter you're using, highlighty blush, whatever you want, into there and make a different look. But that is very, very pretty. Okay, I am going to just do this same brush. No need for brush laundry right here. We're just going to do this look entirely pink and entirely matte. Oh my goodness, this is like Easter brunch, right? Isn't it? Okay, let's switch up some brushes here. And we're going to go with another rougher. This is the 1 Max brush. Love it. Let's do a yellowy orangey look. Let's go here. Why not? Okay, we're doing 2 different looks anyway. I'm just going to cover the eye with, it needed this powder too, because I had the Supergoop product on the eye and it was just making everything just kind of crease. And this ESUM powder is just doing the trick and keeping everything in place. Thank you, ESUM. Okay, and with the same 1 Max, we're going to go into the second shade here and just darken the outer corner. Really sunshiny. I kind of like it with this kind of sunset eye look too. Let's go into another Sonia G and go under the eye. Oh geez, do you remember the, was it the Natasha Denona Sunrise palette? Kind of reminds me of that a little bit, but prettier. But prettier. Okay, same brush that we started with, but I'm going to use this side of it, the 01 Max, and go into this really pretty yellow shade here and just put that all across the mobile lid. Isn't that pretty? Oh wow, that's really nice. Going back here, I just kind of want to blend this one a little bit more. That's the brush we used for it. Okay, and this one here. What do you guys think? So we have this kind of sunsetty look. These are just not even an nth of powder poofing into the air, which some of you don't like, but still so finely milled, so beautifully blendable. You can't even see where I put the brush down, you know, because no matter where you put your brush down is where you're going to have a little bit more pigment, and you can't even see that. It's just so even. Beautiful shadows. And if you like color, you won't want to skip this. I don't even like bright colors, and I love this because they're very gentle. You know, they're very muted, they're very subtle, and you can build them. And I could do a whole one and done kind of blush shaded eye. It's every shade of blush you could ever imagine. Amazing for an artist's kit, but beautiful for home use as well. Wow, that is really pretty. Okay, I'm going to leave it all silly like this. I am going to go out and do some errands. Nobody will say anything to me. They'll go, look at that kooky lady with 2 different eye looks. She probably doesn't know. Don't say anything to her, right? No one ever says anything. I almost wish they would. Maybe they don't notice. I don't know. So let's let it go a few more hours, and then we'll come back here, and I'll give you my final thoughts on everything. Plus, we'll finish out the wear test on the Supergoop product. Okay, we'll stay right there. It's only a second for you. Okay, it's been 6 hours. Actually 6.5. A little bit longer than I thought. I am kind of ready to take this makeup off. Let's talk about it. Let's first conclude our wear test and take a look at, oh, and I'll tell you, I got a lot of thoughts here. Okay. Still very shiny. Chin is shiny. Cheeks are shiny. Remember, before you say powder your T-zone, never had to powder my T-zone in my life. This is just shiny. And as I said, the product does say it is not for those with oily skin. It's very shiny. And that can be really pretty and youthful on a hot day. I feel like everyone feels like they're shiny on a hot day anyway, though, right? I think it would be beautiful almost as a primer. So I would like to use this as a glowy SPF-y primer, so you can kind of combine a few things. As a kind of one and done complexion product, I feel like a greasy mess. I'm not used to my skin being this shiny, and I like doing this, but this is, yeah, I don't think it's flattering essentially. It has very light coverage, so I like it. It doesn't feel too thick. Now, please remember, I am very touch and go with Supergoop products. I have disliked more than I've liked. I hate to say that. I love that they're an SPF brand, but I haven't always loved them. And this one is okay. Maybe as a prime. This is a little too glowy for me. If you have crazy dry skin, you might love it, but I feel like, and you can report back in the comment section, I feel like if you have crazy dry skin, it's still going to be dry and then just shiny. I love the 50 SPF. I love that you can't even tell. I love that it's not thick. Sometimes my problem with Supergoop products is they're too thick. I think this is too shiny. It's not my favorite, but just know what you're getting into. I don't want to be like, don't buy this. I hate it. No, I don't like it for me. You might love it for you. I just want you to know why I don't like it. I feel greasy. I feel yucky. Okay, LYS. A little messy. it's a bit of a Rebecca problem. You know, you got to make sure you line it up, but you got to make sure you roll it down. It's just getting all over here and all over. I know, you're like, Rebecca, you're a slob. Maybe. It's a little messy, and now it's on my hands. So, I mean, I just got to give it a good clean off. It's a really pretty product. It's just kind of a mess. Ugh, it's on my hands. I don't like that. It's very, very pretty. The price is certainly right on it. It's just not my favorite because I feel like it's a little messy. And again, maybe that's because it's messy for me. You see, I'm not just sitting here like, Rebecca says no. Not at all. Not at all. I'm just saying, like, for me, it's not going to work. For you, it might be perfect. Price is right. Very pretty. It's a little bit, I like kind of feel like, ugh, like kind of, it's very rare that I feel like, okay, I'm ready to wash my face. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how I feel. However, we have one big winner here, and that is this ESUM palette. I am generally averse to color, and these are beautiful. They are subtle. They are creamy. They are everything you want a powder to be. They don't move. They don't make a mark when they go down. They blend beautifully. They don't kick powder up into the air. They're every gradient of blush. This is our winner today. This is beautiful. And I am not one to go gaga over bright colored palettes, but this one is one of the favorite bright colored palettes, certainly top 3 that I've ever used in my life. This is absolutely gorgeous, beautiful, worth its weight. And if you are a professional makeup artist, I can't imagine not having this in my kit, especially as spring is around the corner. And if you love color and you want to take a chance for home use, gosh, you'll be so happy. And it's just so nice. The palette is so, you know, they do it right. The palette is so protective and pretty, easy to use. I mean, just an absolute delight. So my ESUM here is definitely the winner. The LYS product, I will say, they say long lasting, and it does appear to be. It's still going strong, so I give it that. Now look, my opinion is not the end all and be all, and I'm the first that can say that. I can only just give you my opinion, but you are welcome to disagree as long as we're all polite to each other. I love the dialogue in the comment section, so say whatever you want. I'm here for it. I really am. So let me know what your thoughts are. I mean, this is why we're a community. And, you know, let me know what you're going to purchase and what you're not. And anything that you need compared. I'm sure there's going to be some people that would like this ESUM compared to something over on my Instagram. You can ask me here. You can DM me. You can ask me over in comments on Insta. Whatever you want. Sounds good to me. Let me know. And make sure to like and to share and, of course, subscribe. And I hope to see all of you in the next video. Bye-bye.